Hello, everybody. Marcus C. Williams here. Welcome. I just wanted to speak with you guys about a couple of things real quick. And if you're watching me on Telegram, I know we're still working on getting everything together, streaming there properly. But you guys, we've got such a lot of stuff going on right now. It's easy, very, very simple to be discouraged. And I don't want anybody out there to be discouraged. If at all ever, I hope that I am able to encourage each and every one of you, because what we've got going on, not just right now in our nation of the United States of America, but all across the world, can be extremely overwhelming and extremely troubling. You may think to yourself, but Marcus, I don't know what to do. I don't even know if I should push back or if I should fight or I should do anything. And I'd say I understand completely, because everything does look a riot right now and out of control. So let's jump into a couple of things that I know that some people might not have seen or might not have heard about. So, and then we'll move forward. We've got the president of Mexico. Okay, he said that he's going to interfere in this election. Mexico, he's going to protect Mexico on Twitter. So if you're watching, you'll see that. I'll try to figure out. Let's put it on my. You'll see it there. I'll try to figure out me on Twitter. Okay. Listen, if we've got a whole foreign country talking about out loud in a press conference that they're going to work to get people that are elected officials in our nation not reelected, that is election interference. That is international crimes against America. And we're just going to let the Mexican president go about and say, oh, well, these people want tougher border security, so we're going to get rid of them. Now, here's my big thing with that, right? You would think that the Democrats would even join in and say, hey, this is wrong. You can't do that, because they're all about international interference in our elections, but they won't say anything about it. And it's insane that we have the president of a foreign nation saying that he's going to work to get our elected officials unseated. You think about that for a second. So if that's not wild, I don't know what is. Okay. Then we've got the continued poisoning of our environment with all of these accidents. Over in Ohio, like Ohio's getting torn up. Okay. Right now, they had another freaking toxic chemical fire the other day, and then another train derailment with toxic chemicals also. It's like, geez, somebody just really doesn't like Ohio. Well, Ohio is got quite a few rivers right there that run through it that feed into other rivers that basically nurture and fertilize all across the wheat belt, and grain belt, whatever you want to call it. But this is a serious issue, and people aren't taking these things serious enough. We know that they're working to do everything that they can to divide us as Americans. We know that they're working on pushing insidious things that are not for the best benefit of us. We see that they're trying to push us off of eating meat because they don't want you to be strong. They don't want you to be able to have muscles. They don't want men to be able to be tough, because they know that if they get a whole bunch of angry men together in one place, that's how a revolution starts. And of course, they don't want you to push back. They don't want you to fight back. That's why they're trying to make there be no genders. That's why they're pushing gender ambiguity. Okay. They'll tell you that it's trans this or trans that. It's bogus nonsense. They're lying to you. They're pushing gender ambiguity because they don't want strong men. They don't want strong women. And this is a serious issue. We need to be paying attention. And what's more than that, we need to be speaking up. If we don't speak up, who will? If we don't speak up now, then when? This is how our country has gotten to this point so far, because people have been unwilling to speak up. People have been unwilling to stand up, and many people have been unwilling to push back. And it's not just the androgyny agenda that's the problem. Like I said, it's the food. They are purposefully making people weaker so that you won't be able to fight and push back against what the people in power, the large corporations, the people in the government are pushing and forcing upon us as American citizens. This is very serious. Okay. They do everything to make it so that we don't have the resources, our businesses are being closed, money is being flown to other countries, so it impacts our dollar and our value and our buying power and our spending power because they know that spending power is money. And spending power is real power. So they don't want you to have that. They're stripping us of every ability to have any sort of power or control over our lives. They've made it so parental rights have been stripped away from parents where they can have your child if they're age of, and depending on what state you're in, New York State, it's 12 or over, that you can't access their medical records without their permission, but you're still responsible for them in New York State until they're 24 now, I think it is. It's out of control. You can't even go and buy a can of whipped cream unless you're 18 in New York State. But you want 12-year-olds to make major medical decisions for themselves? Somebody make this make sense. But everybody knows that this is crazy, but there's not enough people standing up and pushing back against this nonsense. You really want your 12-year-old to make medical decisions for themselves? Okay? You know? These are the children that you have to tell, "Don't eat too much birthday cake or don't eat too much ice cream b because you'll get sick." Like, are you serious? Which goes into how we've cultivated a weak nation in a weak couple of generations. You know, I live in Rochester, New York. A couple days ago, we had unfortunate incident where 3 people died at this gangster rah-rah concert, right? It's a gangster rah-rah concert, right? Y'all supposed to be hard, y'all supposed to be tough, right? But somebody thought that they heard a shot or whatever the sound was and went off, and it started to stampede, and everybody got all scared and freaked out, and people were like, "Ah, ah," and people died. Y'all supposed to be hard. Y'all at a hardcore gangster rap concert. Y'all supposed to be hard. Soft. Americans have become soft, super soft, easily immutable, malleable, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And it's a serious issue because this is something that has not happened all at once. It's something that has been a continued process of making Americans weak in different ways. They've taken the fathers out of the homes, so you can't have a strong family. They've put the mothers into fields of work where if you are trying to support your child, you got to work 2, 3 jobs. You never actually see your children. So they've got it so that the schools are now the parent. Now parents are learning that their young, small children in elementary school in first grade, second grade are being taught about anal and oral sex and are being taught about how to be gay. That's inappropriate. That's inappropriate by any measure. Teaching small children that a boy doesn't have to be a boy and a girl doesn't have to be a girl. Where are the people standing up? You're going to have to stand up. It's going to have to be you. We're not going to be able to do it by ourselves. You have to stand up too. You want 95, the research says 95%, they're against that. But nobody is standing up. And this is the serious issue. More people need to stand up. If we do not stand up now, then when? If it is not us, then who? There will not be anybody to come save us when this shit really starts to go down because we didn't stand up to begin with. This is why I do everything that I can to encourage you to move forward, to take action, to stand up against the oppression that is being thrust upon us. Okay? This is the time to stand up before they make us into slaves again. And it's worse than that because it's not even slavery that they want for most of us anymore. It's complete deletion. They want to get rid of the people. Okay. And they've got these new city innovations. Okay. I just saw it in, I want to say it was Cincinnati is trying to become the first 15-minute city in America. Basically, let me explain long and short of what a 15-minute city is. Basically, a 15-minute city is sanctioned off, cornered off areas of a city in which you cannot move out of the area in which you are in. So let's say you're on the west side of the city. You can't go to the east side of the city because you have to go through all of these checkpoints and stuff like this. And if they say, "Oh, well, you've been a naughty boy or a naughty girl, or we don't want you here," you'll try to scan your pass and they won't let you out, and you'll die there because this is just like the ghettos that they used to have back in the day in Europe. Okay? This is exactly this, okay? Where they would not let Jews out of their neighborhoods. And if they did, like, this is not a joke. Like, this is real serious life. Right now, right now, we need to know, and we need to find, we need to push this and that. You need to get involved with your local whatever committee that you have, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or in other places conservative or whatever. You need to get involved with your local committees, okay, that are your party committees. You need to get involved with your local politicians, your city council, your town council, your local state assembly, your state senators. Okay, they need to know who you are. You need to be explaining to them in very short, brief terms of why this is important, of why what your concerns are, and what you see is a direction that we can move forward. If we do not start pushing back against a lot of this ridiculous agendas that are being pushed on us, we will not be able to fight back later. It is now is the time. Now is the time to stand. Now is the time to get ready. I just saw that the FBI put out a thing the other day. They said, hey, if you know anybody that seems to be getting too prepared, you should turn them into the FBI. That sounds outrageous to me. And that lets you know that they're about to let some sugar cracker Krispies go down. Okay. Some real BS is about to happen and hit the fan because they're telling you to let them know if you know preppers. Are you serious? Turning your neighbors is what they're telling you. Is this the the beginning of World War II and the rise of the Nazis? This is the Fourth Reich that we're experiencing right now. Okay? That's exactly what is happening. And people need to stand up and speak up right now. There will not be a later, okay? There will not be a time in the future in which we're able to. Every day we see our First Amendment rights being taken away. We see freedom of religion taken away. The FBI is trying to go into churches and put informants inside churches because they're saying that the churches that are orthodox or the churches that really firmly adhere to their beliefs are maybe extremists. So they've got to put informants in them and they've got to work on dismantling these churches. And they focus very specifically on Catholicism, but this is a wider issue with all of Christianity, especially. Okay, and Muslims don't be don't be unaware that it won't come for you too, because y'all believe very firmly in your religions too. So this is stuff that we need to be addressing now. This is things that we need to be paying attention to now. If we're not getting ready now, if we're not standing up now, if we're not speaking up now, there will never be another time to come again. So I know this sounds all doom and gloom or whatever the case may be, but I'm dead serious. This is stuff that needs to be addressed now. Okay? We have issues with food, we have issues with water. Our federal government very clearly does not care about us. Okay? Now, if you don't see the writing on the wall that the BS is about to go down, okay, that they're trying to make it so we're not able to defend ourselves or fend for ourselves or any of that. We really, really, really must stand up now. We must stand up now. If we do not stand up now, if we do not start uniting together, okay, there will not be anything to push back against later. It will take all holy hell to try to fight back at another time. We've got to start standing up immediately. We've got to come together with other like-minded individuals and push back against these agendas that they're pushing on us. Okay? And we have to do it now. And I hope and I pray to the Lord that I am able to reach one, two, or a couple of you, or maybe even more, and encourage you guys to stand up because we're not going to be able to do it. There are some of us out here that speak up. They try to demonize you whenever you try to speak up. They try to deplatform you. Okay, Facebook is good for trying to take me off of Facebook for any given reason, whatever they pick this Tuesday. It's out of control. The other day, day before yesterday, they hit me with a zinger talking about I shared something with nudity or sexually explicit. Never, never, never. I wouldn't do that. That's not who I am. That's not in my character. That's not gonna make me no money. It ain't gonna make no sense. If it ain't gonna make money, it ain't gonna make sense. So I'm definitely not doing it. But these are the things that we need to be aware of are happening. First Amendment, they're coming after that. They're coming after the freedom of religion. We talked about that. Freedom of speech with the deplatforming, like we were just discussing. Even if you try to go, like you see some people go to speak on college campuses, they try to shut them down and they try to shut their visit down because they don't want them speaking about whatever it is that they're speaking about. But they can say, there should be drag shows for kids and there should be satanic clubs, and this is stuff that's okay for them to say, right? But if you say a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl, that's a problem. You might hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody might get offended. Oh, perish the thought. When you guys are offensive all the time, okay? You say cut all the babies out of the wombs. Everybody should have abortions. No more babies for anybody. This is what they're saying, and they're saying these things out loud. I'm not making things up. I'm not being hyperbolic. They have said these things. And the narrative that they keep trying to push right now is, oh, we need to make sure that people have less children so there's less crime. So you're saying you want to get rid of the black babies so that there's less crime? Listen to how that sounds. If that's not some neo-Nazi, okay, white supremacist stuff, you ain't never heard none. Get rid of the black babies to lower crime? Are you serious in life? Are you listen to how that sounds, how abhorrent that is? Or we let people get away with these things because it's becoming more and more normalized because people are not standing up, they are not speaking up, and you must push back against so many of these things which are destroying our society currently. Now is the time. Now is the time. If not now, when? Never, right? Because there won't be anybody to help you then. That's why we must consolidate now. That's why we must stand now, because we can chip away at little issues and we can actually gain more ground back to normalization of our society and our country. If we don't do it now, there won't be a country much longer. They are working to make everyone weak. That's why they are trying to change the food that we eat so you can't put on muscle mass, so that your hormones are out of whack, your testosterone is out of whack, your estrogen is out of whack, because they don't want you to be able to be strong individuals. This is why this is being done. Like, I'm not making stuff up. Like, this is what these people are pushing out of their mouths. Listen to the World Economic Forum. Listen to all of these other meetings that they have in Dubai and other places like that. Okay? Listen to what is publicly available from the people that are leading our world that they're saying out of their mouth. Could you imagine what they're saying behind closed doors? Just imagine it. It's out of control. Then we have the issue where they don't want you to be able to redress your grievances with your government. And again, we're still just in the First Amendment. They don't want you to be able to redress your grievances with your government. They try to put things digital. They try to make it so it's difficult for you to come speak to your council or speak to your assembly members or speak whatever the case is. They don't want to be they don't want you to be heard. They don't want you to be able to speak up. Give me 1 second. Drink water, stay hydrated. But the other issue is if we don't push back against what's being done now, we won't have any more rights left. Let me be very clear on what the Constitution does, okay? What the Bill of Rights does. It enshrines our rights that we were given by the Lord, okay? Our natural given rights. This is in our Constitution. This is in our Declaration of Independence that says that we have natural rights. So if we see that in our Constitution, they are protecting our natural rights and we are not trying to stand up for them, what good are we? Not only are we not doing our civic duty and standing up for our own rights and individual freedoms, we're not standing up for the rights and individual freedoms of others. That means that when they come for us, they will come for everybody else and there won't be anybody left. Like, we really have to pay attention to this ASAP. Okay. That's why we have the Constitution, to protect our God given rights. Okay? That's why they're enshrined there. The Constitution doesn't give you rights, it protects your God given rights. So wake up, pay attention. They want to take away the Second Amendment because they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. Look at this. They've let all the criminals out. same people that tell you you shouldn't be able to own a firearm are the same ones saying, let the criminals run rampant, run crazy. Don't lock anybody up. Get rid of all the police. These are the same people. If we do not stand up now, if we do not push back now, there will not be a later. So I encourage you to be roused to activation, to stand up, to speak up, and to speak out. Okay, speak out. Encourage your friends, your family to speak out. And I'll give you a very, very, very important note. Um, I recently attended CPAC. The Conservative Political Action Conference. Okay, so I went there and I got tons of pictures. I met tons of people, tons of great people. I love you all. You guys are great. Um, Also, shout out to Team Marcus for making that happen. I love you guys. You're the best. Um, but there are pictures that if I put the pictures up, they'll try to get rid of me. Like, I mean, like, not get rid of me, right? Like, the people will try to use them against me and say, "Oh, look at who he's got pictures up with, whatever the case is, blase, blase, blah," because they're intolerant bigots. Intolerant bigots. Do you know that? What's the lady's name? Oh my goodness, she ran in what was it in Georgia? What's her name? That nasty, mean lady that said that black people should kill all their babies and lower crime. Um, Dang it, what was her name? Man, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But anyway, so this lady is in Nigeria right now. Do you know what's going on in Nigeria? Stacey Abrams, that's her name. So Stacey Abrams is in Nigeria right now. Do you know why she's down there? Stacey Abrams is down in Nigeria right now to help them with the elections. Stacey Abrams help with elections in a foreign country. Stacey Abrams and elections and issues with elections. I mean, something like that seems like it's familiar to me. I mean, like that just don't sound right, right? But it's not only that. In Nigeria right now, they tried to introduce CBDC, central bank digital currency. Okay, so they got rid of their paper money, and people are a raw riot down there right now because their money is worthless. They can't spend their money, they can't buy anything because they digitalized all the money and they will not give you all your right amount of money back. We saw this happen already. It happened in India. We saw it happen in China. Okay, so if you're not paying attention, they're trying to put that in here in America. It is coming here and it will be here very soon. Just finished the test of the digital dollar about a month ago now. Okay, they've got everything working and they were putting together all the infrastructure. Listen to what the crazy Beetlejuice looking lady from Chicago said, the mayor. She's like, oh, yes, businesses just shouldn't take cash anymore. They should all use card and scan tags and stuff. Are you serious? Like they are pushing this stuff out of their mouth out loud, out loud. Please pay attention. Please be on alert because they're telling you exactly what they're doing. They're telling you exactly the direction that they're going in. And if you're not paying attention, you sleep. You got to wake up now. You got to wake up your neighbors. You got to wake up your friends. You got to wake up your family and roundabout with anybody that is willing to join up with you. And we must push back against the grievous atrocities that are coming because I promise you, as much as I do not want them, if enough people do not stand up now, we are in dire peril. So I pray that my message is able to rouse you to action, to rouse you to unity, because all they do in our government right now, all they do in the media right now is try to divide and separate us. It is of the utmost importance that you do not give up the fight if you're in it right now. It is of the utmost importance that you continue to stand strong. It is of the utmost importance that you stand up, speak up, and don't shut up because other people need to hear your voice. The more people that see that we're willing to stand up, the more people that will also join in standing up. Okay? And with that, I'm going to let you go. I got some stuff I got to attend to. Please stay strong. Okay, we can push back against what's going on. We can get better results than we would if we do not. But we have to come together, start being active. Okay, join your local committees, engage your elected officials, be it on the state level or the local level. All levels, you need to be familiar with them, who they are. You need to look at the legislation that they're passing. If you can't do it by yourself, look with a friend, figure it out who can do what. But we have to start taking an active role. We have to start protesting. We have to get loud. You see what all these crazy people are doing, they get very loud about ridiculous stuff, and it's only like 5 of them, but then they get all of this stuff because they're very loud, and we're not loud enough. We need to get louder. So I encourage you, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action, get loud, stay strong, be blessed, and be well. I'll catch you later.